your future, it's a good web tool is all this is. So sometimes you put in something and it requires a prerequisite. So I don't know which ones require. Let's say I jumped into, I don't know off the top of my head this one didn't. But let's say you want to take writing 12. Okay, so that's where myself and then the school counselors help you. So this is just a computer program. There might be some glitches. Like I know I said you didn't have to take American Sign Language 10. Is it coming up red? Is that the one that's coming up red? It's my guess it is. So there are some glitches. Yeah. Alrighty. Carpentry. So all of the schools have amazing programs. So let's take a look at, all these courses aren't offered at all the schools, but there's so many amazing programs. So let's jump down to applied skills. And every school has their own program. So it's one of the things that we'll have to think about in the spring of what your plans are. Most schools have mechanics. In fact, all of them do. Okay. All the schools in Kelowna have drafting design. I'm guessing all the schools have electronics for sure. Metalwork. All the schools have metalwork in Kelowna. All the schools have woodwork. And Damon, I'm trying to get to your question. This one, is this your question, Damon? So how does the ABC work? Is this your question? Carpentry and joinery? ABC. I'm trying to find your question, Damon. ABC, I don't know what you're referring to. But generally all these big ones, they would have, all the schools in Kelowna would have some sort of carpentry program, yeah. And then each school has their own specialization. Really, it depends on what the teachers are kind of passionate about. Like I know Mount Boucherie, they have a really cool course, and I don't think it's on here. I think it's just called metalwork. But he makes the medieval armor. So if you're really interested in metalwork, that's a really cool course for you. And KSS has a huge auto body shop. So they have really specialized courses in auto body. So, okay, so Damon asked a really good question. So Damon and Savannah, all of you guys who know you want to specialize in an area, once you get to the grade 12 level, there's tons of options. And every school is different, so I can't really answer them. So Damon, I'm just doing a hypothetical here because I don't know the school you're going to and I don't know the teacher. But for example, you might be able to take Carpentry A in grade 12 in the first semester. If you're a really strong carpentry student, you and the teacher will decide your project the whole year is a bed. And that's what you'll make. And then Carpentry 12B, let's say you want to make the matching dresser. That'll be your second semester. Yeah. So I don't specifically know, Damon, because every school is different. And really, if you are amazing at carpentry or metalwork or auto body, the teachers really give you a lot of freedom to customize your own projects. Versus someone who's like, hey, I'm going to take carpentry and you know, and I know you've worked a lot with your grandpa, so you might have some skills and you may be able to do something with them. So right now you can put in a couple carpentries, a couple different ones you can see here. There's a few different ones, but really it's going to depend on the school and it's going to depend on you as a person too. Right? If you're someone who is dedicated to your work, they will let you take more than one and they're more than happy to help you customize a project. Yeah. So Avery asked a good question for everybody. Let's look back at let me throw this one in. Let's look back at our home page here. In grade 10, you all have to take 8 courses. In grade 11, almost every single school will require you to take 8 courses. I'm going to put pre-calculus in right now. I don't have the prerequisites because I put pre-calculus 12 in, but that's okay. So let's start our grade 12 year. A couple people have had questions about grade 12 year. you will notice that after I'm done my grade 10 and 11 year, I now have 64 credits. You need 80 credits to graduate. So I don't know off the top of my head how many that is over here. Let's start filling it out. But grade 12, most people take a spare. I don't want you taking more than one. This is your time to try new things. So in grade 12, most of us are going to take English 12. Okay, so most of us are. So let's just put that in now. We all have to take grad transitions. Let's put that in now. Some of you, I know you started filling it out, so some of you are planning on taking chemistry, whether it's grade 11 or 12. Let's fill that out. You can see as I fill it out, if I scroll to the view progress on the side there, Merle, I'm keeping you on your toes. You will notice I'm at 76 credits to graduate. And at this point, I've not graduated. I need 80 to graduate. So I'm not eligible for university, but let me put in a little bit more. If I want to go to university, I probably would take, did I put pre-calc in yet? Can't remember what I put in. There we go. I have a problem because I got pre-calc over here. What else could I take? What else could I take? Oh, First People English. Oh, I need a prerequisite for that. That's a problem. What else would I recommend taking over here? So you'll notice it's not just easy as filling these out. I take Dance 10? No, I wouldn't take Dance 10 ever. Where's French? Maybe I should put French in there because French is often required for university. I don't even know where French is. It's probably in international languages, isn't it? I'm kind of mumbling, Anna. I'm more mumbling than talking as I look for French. There we go. Sophia asked a really good question. Do you need French for all universities? No. No. Lots you do, but not all. And that is the whole point of why we do this now, is so that in grade 11, planning for grade 11, we all of a sudden go, oh, well, I better start taking X, Y, and Z to get me to university. If you just put in, Abby, if anyone too, if the electives that you're taking you can't find, just do what we did over here, do the independent directed study. So the good news for me is I've hit my credits to graduate. I have enough credits. But look, the courses I've picked have not got me to university. And this is where we're going to do lots of fine tweaking over the next really few months. And you certainly don't have to pick courses to get you to university, because some of you aren't going to go to university, and that's totally fine. But those of you who are going to university, we want to make sure in the spring when we sit down to pick your grade 11 courses, we have you ready to go. So that's kind of why we start this process in grade 10. An easy subject in grade 11, foods would be easy because we'll have done foods 10. So even if you're a super academic person, you need to take some easy courses. And I think Mr. Borden mentioned that yesterday. You cannot take all math science. It is too difficult. And the problem is then if you're taking 8 heavy courses, you're working too hard, your grades are going to be lower. So it's better if you split up just like I did. I have some math here. I have some pre-calc here. I have chemistry here. You split it up between grade 11 and 12 because then you'll get a higher mark. It's just like this semester. We are doing English and math and planning and ADC. If in this semester we did math, science, socials, and English, would your marks be as high right now in English and math? No. So we really want to help you guys balance this out too. And the school counselors are good at that. I think I have to go. Do I have to go? What time does Mr. Borden come on here? I don't want him mad at me and take me as math time. I know he takes math very seriously. Oh, we're okay. We got a few more minutes. So you do not have to get this done today. We're going to play around with this. Everyone has their own individual questions. Plus, you got to talk to your parents. Plus, you got to think about what you want to do. I would recommend here you take 7. So if you take a look back at my grade 12, 7. The high schools generally will not let you take less than 7. So some of you are thinking, well, I can graduate here. Yes and no. You know, that is your minimum, but that's not going to get you to university. And if you're a weaker student and you fail a course or 2, which happens, it's not going to allow you to pass. So make sure you have 7 courses in here. Avery, for you, oh, you know what's easy for you, Avery? Accounting 11. Yeah. You would actually enjoy Accounting 11, Avery. All the schools teach it, and it's an applied skill, so it's the same level as ADC and planning and foods. So it's not a bunch of studying, but if you would do well with Accounting 11, Avery. Yeah. What else would you do well with? I think you would do well with like the basic web design. So not the programming, but basic web design. I think you would do well with too. It depends on the school, what they offer too. Yeah, Anna, in grade 12, let's plan for 7 courses. So what else should I take? I haven't been paying attention why I haven't got myself to university yet. Socials. Let me take, or another thing you would like, it's interesting too, we haven't even touched on, is geography. So you might get Mrs. Ward off tangent, but she can tell you about geography. It's her favorite is geography. Abby, just try your best to fill this out with 7 courses and you can go. Yeah, take care. So I think a few people, how are we doing for questions? Taylor, how are you doing? And Haley, I haven't heard from Haley. How's yours coming along, Haley? Human Services at Mount Boucherie, they have 2 courses. Every school has different courses, right? Human Services at Mount Boucherie, they have 2 courses. One of them's a child development course. You would find that interesting. And they look at how kids develop at different stages. And one of them is, I can't think of the other one. But you would find that it's kind of like a psychology. It kind of looks at, yeah, and I think at Mount Boucherie, I think you get, and actually at KS, actually maybe at all 3 of the big high schools, I think you get one of those babies. Have you ever seen kids at the mall or kids on a bus stop? I just drove by one the other day and they have one of those fake babies that actually cries, and I think you get that for like a week project too. These babies are so real. They look like babies, and they're programmed to behave like a baby. And so they cry, they need to be fed, and you don't feed them real food. You have some sort of whatever it is, and you have to spend the time, just like a parent, feeding them for half an hour. And you have to change their diapers or they cry, and they wake up in the middle of the night. So that's under the Human Services. I don't know, is that under Applied Skills? Who found Human Services? Health and Career, I don't know where it's under. Anna, I gotta find those. I don't know where they're under. I think they're under applied skills. Those human services ones are good for Anna. If you're thinking of social work. Oh, here it is, human services. So under applied skills, we were in home economics. Haha, did it, Taylor? Good playing around. Okay, so the reason these have A, B, C's is every school is different. So it depends on the teacher. So those of you who are interested in going to Rutland, they actually have a daycare at Rutland that they run. So community people pay. I've worked in it before. It's amazing. The students run a full daycare every Tuesday and Thursday morning. The students get dropped off and they run a daycare. And so right now, you are just picking this random 11A, 11B because you've got to wait to see what your school offers. If you go to George Eliot's a smaller school. I don't think they offer any of these courses. So that's why right now we're playing around with our dream world. And in the spring, once we start seeing your math grades come in, your English grades come in, it doesn't matter if you pick A, B, or C. Doesn't matter. We don't know right now. It's just a credit. Is there courses with volunteering? Nope. Clubs. I think more non-credit clubs that I can think of. But things change all the schools. So that's why in the spring, once we see all of your grades coming in and when we see what school you're going to go to, what programs, then we'll fine tune this obviously, yeah. I think we're doing pretty well though. Boy, oh boy, lots of good questions. So right now, it doesn't really matter. Like, for example, let's say you are going to George Eliot next year. I don't think they have any human services. So let's say you've put down human services. Fine for right now. But if, when May hits, June hits, and we sit down and we, set you up with Mrs. Gilbert at George Eliot, she's going to be like, oh, we don't offer those. It's too small of a school. Whereas if you're a Rutland senior, you might have 3 choices. And I know Boucherie has a lot too. So, yeah, there we go. So, is this assignment due? Well, yes and no. So let me flip back to my course here. Actually, maybe I'll get you guys all back. So if you could come give me a green check that you're back listening with me, I'm going to kind of wrap her up here for the day. I know everyone's mad, frantic, thinking about the courses they want to take. But if you can come give me a green check, we'll kind of wrap it up. Avery, I think Spanish 10. Avery, send me an email. I know the Spanish teacher at Boucherie. I'll ask her. Send me an email and I'll ask her later. I don't know that answer off the top of my head for Spanish. All right. I think we've done well. Obviously, you see we've got tons of personal questions. All of you are all different. I've been doing this a long time, so I know lots of the answers, but I don't know all the answers. The requirements change all the time. So that's why we do this all throughout the year. We started basic. You guys filled out those student learning plans for me. That was just step 1. That was grade 10. And throughout the year, we keep revisiting this. So what's due and what's not due? Okay, it's not as clear as it normally is. So what I've done is I've opened up a few different assignments. And I've given some suggested timelines to help you manage your coursework with your math and English. So, most of us started this yesterday. I'm hoping after playing around, you can do this today. I'm actually going to change this date. It was November 20th. Oh, no, that's Friday. That's good. This one, I only have to do this one with you. I got you logged in. There's a little bit more you need to do here, but it's a 10-minute quiz, which is nice and easy. So I kind of want you to do this one on your own. And then this one, we'll kind of touch on next week, but I purposely opened all of these assignments, which normally I don't do that, because I kind of want you peeking around at all of them, taking a look and seeing what works for you. Because maybe when you open up this assignment, you'll think to yourself, oh, I need to go back and fix this assignment. Okay, so I do want you to kind of keep on these timelines. Don't wait till November 27th to do all of these things. But this is kind of giving you guys a bit more freedom here to allow you to talk to your parents, look at what different schools have to offer, and kind of, play around, start thinking about next year in that. So lots of information and definitely lots of questions. So I'm probably just going to sign out now. And that gives you 10 minutes to kind of decompress and get ready for math. And probably the best thing to do is email me with your personal questions. That way I can get back to you on your specific circumstance. Okay. Are we all excited about picking grade 11 courses, or are we all nervous? Where are we at? Are we excited, nervous, thinking, wow? Or is it kind of cool, all the options out there? How are we feeling? Everyone type one word so I know how you're all feeling. No one's typing anything to me. They're all like, oh no. Type one word how you feel right now about picking your courses for next year. You should worry about grade 12. Yep. Put in what you think you want to do for grade 12. Yeah. Okay. We have a lot of excited people. There's lots of options out there. A couple okays. And I'm sure there's a few of you not sure. Yeah. That's okay. Good. I see one person typing still. Okay, I will not hang up till Anna finishes, but I will say goodbye. And thank you guys. And I will see you guys out at curling tomorrow. So please come. Curling is brand new to all of us, so please come out to curling. It should be a lot of fun. And Mrs. Ward is going to come, and I think I'm going to try to see if Mr. Borden can come as well. So anyways, take care. And you guys can head to math in about 10 minutes. Okay, bye. Take care.